Alexandra burns while politicians play the blame game. Fed-up residents take to the streets again as the housing crisis deepens. 18 years later, and the community is yet to enjoy the benefits of the township's renewal project. So who's to blame for the current state of Alex, and whose responsibility is it to fix it? To help answer these questions, City of Joburg Mayor Herman Mashaba joins me in the studio. Very good to have you with me again. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Which is probably a good thing.
Yeah, thank you very much. Unfortunately, to meet you at the time when there's always crisis, it would be wonderful one day to really have discussions around the weather, around the economy growing, and South Africans being happy. In fact, it's interesting. I was listening to radio coming here that South Africans are the second most depressed people in the world.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised. And you look at what happens in Alexandra. I mean, you've been there this weekend after those settlements were removed. Tell us about your findings. What happened?
Well, quite disturbing. I got this information on Friday before I left. I was out of the country for a week on private business, and Friday before I left the U.S., I get a call from my office that there's a problem in Alexandra. Unfortunately, it's a long flight. I only arrived on Sunday morning. And Sunday, watching on television, listening to radio, talking to people, actually quite disturbed with what actually transpired in Alexandra. Monday morning, called the leadership of the city, including Jane PD, because they're the ones responsible for for carrying out these demolitions.
Yes, they went in and did those demolitions.
Yeah, those demolitions without properly informing me about such demolitions. And I think it's something that I've made it really very clear to the city that demolitions and evictions, as you're aware, they've got political implications. And I think it's only a courtesy to inform me so that I'm not taken by surprise.
Whose decision should it be?
Yeah, it really depends. I think sometimes you get court orders, sometimes you act proactively. Obviously, if you're aware of an evasion of land or whatever, if you act on time, you don't need to really get a court order. But if obviously the property has been built after certain days, unfortunately, you've got to get a court order.
So what happened really this time? Whose decision was it to do it in that sort of manner?
Yeah, this time that's something I'm still trying to establish, because on Sunday when I arrived, getting together with some of my colleagues, the court order issued out in September 2016 was produced. So I thought that's a court order that was the reason for this demolition. When I called the JMPD yesterday, no, they're not acting on the basis of this court order, because court order, as you're aware, with a new administration, we took over administration in August. If this court order was only issued in September, that means it was a process started before our time. So when I interrogated, they says no, they were acting on a pie act, because some of those buildings, in fact not some, to them, what they were saying to me, that all those buildings were all new, and they were not complete, and they were not occupied.
Okay, so you've got to wonder. Okay, so an investigation is underway. You've got to question the sort of brutality.
Yeah, because
so what happens
went
to them now?
Yeah, because I went on the ground yesterday to go and obviously have a look at this drama myself, and obviously talk to various community members and so forth, and only to discover that the report that's been given to me is it's not obviously 100% really correct. Some of those buildings, without any doubt, they were occupied. They've been, and actually I remember asking this question in the meetings, asking how long have these people been here? And I was told 7-8 months. And when I got there, I learned people have been there since 2017.
Okay, and so you've promised that you're going to look after them. Tell us how that's going to work. And you also mentioned the political ramifications of this. What are they?
Yes, the political ramification, as you are aware, that's why I'm here now today with you, instead of actually talking how we can grow our economy and create opportunities for our people, because that's what government is supposed to do. Now I've got to really deal with the crisis that I did not know about. So yes, this morning I wrote to the city manager because to request him to actually get one of the legal firms to do an independent investigation, because I want to get to the bottom of this as to who actually authorized this. What was the agency? Because what I need to understand, what was the agency? Because the original report I was given was that there was a meeting on the 27th of last month, few days before. And then they take a decision Friday morning to go and demolish.
Well, you're a smart man. I mean, you've been part of the sort of politicking before, caught in the middle. What do you think was behind this?
Well, without any doubt, I think there are some forces at play here. That's why I need to really deal with this properly. But obviously, I need to really ensure that I have the facts with me. That's why, as I've indicated to you earlier on, I've requested the city manager to get one of the top legal firms to do a proper investigation, so that there has to be really consequences. Without any doubt, I'm not going to show any mercy to anyone who acts against poor, vulnerable people like this. Firstly. Secondly, do this to embarrass my government that I run. Because I think if people want to play politics with me, but don't really use poor, vulnerable people as a football game.
Okay, let's leave it there and talk again when you get the results of the investigation. And no wonder South Africans are so depressed. Herman Mashaba,
definitely be proper consequences.
Next we speak to the convener of the Alex shutdown and Gauteng MEC for Human Settlements to get their take on the situation.